Are you a billionaire?
No.
Can you share your net worth?
No, it's on my website. It's on the YouTubes.
So if it's on there, why can't you say it now?
Why don't you do more homework and look it up?
Because I like to come with a fresh
fine. You can't. You're not going to get an answer to that question.
Okay, but I should still ask it, shouldn't I?
You should.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things you should have done in your career you didn't. So
yeah,
this is one more.
So I find this a paradox. I'd love your thoughts on this. Because statistically, we know that most people won't be successful, but you make a living out of helping people become successful. So you're looking at someone going, statistically, you're probably going to fail.
I tell everybody they're going to fail. When they come to the seminar, you're all going to fail.
Why do you tell them that?
Because it's the truth.
So why'd you take their money?
Because if you want it more than you want air in your lungs, you can succeed geometrically. Because that's the real answer.
So you know most of them will fail, but if they want it enough, you can teach them how to be successful.
No. All my material is free on my website. I don't teach them a fucking thing when they come here.
Why do they come here then?
Talk about paradoxes?
Yeah.
That's a big one.
So can you answer that?
No,
Why do they come
I
here?
really can't.
You can't because you don't know or you don't want to?
No, it has nothing to do with me not wanting to. I mean, for 30 years they've come here.
How much do they pay?
I just checked before I walked in. The regular seminar is £27,000.
And do they stay here as well?
Yeah.
Yeah. So someone pays £27,000 and how long are they here for?
A week.
And they're learning nothing that they couldn't learn for free off you online.
And I've said that a million times would be an exaggeration, but at least 10,000 times.
So why do they come?
Maybe you'll be able to find out for me.
It definitely intrigues me. That maybe there must be an experience element then. I mean, do people want to be paying £27,000 just to be called a cunt all day? Do you think they enjoy that?
You'd have to ask them.
Yeah. But do you not get feedback from them? Do they not tell you why when they're drinking?
We stopped asking for feedback and testimonials 15 years ago.
Why?
Because they were always the same. It's like on my website. I've never looked at it myself, but my staff tells me. On Facebook, we get the same recurring 10 or 12 questions, not dissimilar to the question you're just asking me. Why did they come? To get beat, degraded? And I didn't have an answer 15 years ago, and I don't have an answer today.
Is there a reason you talk to them like that?
Because it works. But I can give you history. When I started my first seminar in May 1993, and I gave it at the Sheraton Hotel in downtown Los Angeles, I probably only used foul words 5 or 6 times in 12 hours. Okay, and we've experimented with 5 or 6, maybe even 10 formats for the seminar. And there's 3 or 4 things that after about 10 or 12 years that we figured out. Number one, when the kids are here and then they leave and go out into the ugly, vicious world, the kids are significantly more successful if they've experienced the castle. Now, is it the castle and me or just me? Okay. We've never been able to ascertain that 100%, but the kids say it's the nuances of what you say. Nuances can only mean there's only one thing that's not on the website, although we publish almost the entire seminar on YouTube. Every week we have a seminar, and the only thing is perhaps some of the stories or tidbits. That's the only thing that's not on the website. Okay. And we have people, one of our most successful devotees, who's created about 500 million euros in his career, has been to the seminar 8 times. The 8th time he brought his wife. Okay. Another Hall of Famer has been to the seminar 13 times. No discount, no, just, okay. We have several of the people that have been here 2-3 times. I just got an email from a kid, a current superstar from Austria, who's created about 500 million euros in 2.5 years. He says, I need a fresh up. I think that means another seminar. Because default's a bitch. We're the average of the 5 people we spend the most time with. Okay, most it's maybe a mom, maybe a part-time dad, maybe traveling or maybe he left, a brother, a sister, maybe a grandparent, if not a sister, the guy next door. Now, how do those 5 people know anything about creating a high-performance person? They know 0, i.e., you get 0. And even in new math, when we ask the questions, what's the highest performance thing your grandparents ever did? Nothing. What's the highest performance thing your parents ever did? Nothing. What's the highest performance thing your siblings ever did? Nothing. Even in new math, 0, 0, and 0 is 0, i.e., they've created nothing. Most Brits have low self-esteem.
Why?
Tradition!
What does that mean?
You know what the word tradition means?
I do, but there's a lot of context of that word. So
Well, I'm telling you the simplest context. It's like you don't want to talk about money if you're rich here.
I love talking about money.
Well, you're not rich.
Well, it depends on who you compare me to.
Well, unless my information is 100% inaccurate, you wouldn't be considered wealthy in the group that comes here. Only one guy out of 25 is wealthy that comes here.
Well, that's all depends on who you compare yourself to. You definitely don't know what I'm worth, because there is no way you can find out what I'm worth online, just like when I asked you.
No, I didn't say online, did I?
Well, how else would you find out what I'm worth? Because you definitely haven't phoned me up
How
and
does
asked me.
MI6 find out? Or how does MI5 find out?
Well, I don't even know that they would know what I'm worth. I mean, I'm 45. You're nearly 80.
45.
Yeah, I'm 45. You're nearly 80. By 99.9 recurring percent of 45s, I'm more wealthy than 99.99%. I am pretty confident in that. So I would define myself as rich.
Well, you have low standards then.
Everything is relative. Or maybe I'm just starting out. I've only been doing this 18 years. You said your kids are young, so I'm young. So I've still got 40
my kids
years.
are younger than you.
Only
42,
just.
41,
Yeah.
and almost 38.
Yeah. So,
You are young.
Yeah. So I still have lots of
But
time.
in the new internet woke world, you're old.
Well, I don't really care what they think.
Okay, well, I mean, you
So if they can call me old, I think I have a lot of experience. You know,
Well, if
any punk can make a load of money in crypto overnight and not build the skills to hold on to wealth.
And most of them
for
don't have the
decades.
skills.
Yeah, because you have to build wealth skills over time, going through hard challenges.
wealth is built on a series of transactions, i.e., including time. Sally and I went to cash when I turned 60 years old, 18, 19 years ago. We're 100% cash, except for this estate. This estate is in the trust, but it's the only thing that's not cash.
Now, you're in cash now.
I have been for 17 years.
But what about all the inflation through 2020? Wipe it out 10% plus a year of it.
I know you didn't come over here for me to insult your intelligence, but anybody that worries about inflation is either fucking poor and not making any money or listens to the fake news too much.
Can you explain why?
Yeah, I can explain why. High performance people like me just make more money. Someone like me isn't interested in a return on my investment. I'm interested in a return of my investment. The easiest thing for me to track and make sure that I get back is cash.
But how do you make 10% return on cash?
I don't.
What do you do then?
My investments, the things that I invest my time and money in, bring me percentages in the hundreds.
So you're not in cash, you're in assets.
No. All my assets went to cash. Everything from my 60th birthday on that I invested time in, I got ownership in. That's not in cash. Those are in ownership in 25 companies that I've helped found over the last 15, 20 years.